further tease a lot of this out, but before we do, we have two other presenters, both of whom are familiar to this audience, I think, and should be, certainly because of their preeminence in this particular arena of what the Chinese Communist Party is about, what it is up to, and what it means for us. We're going to go first to Gordon G. Chang. Gordon is perhaps the most prominent critic of the Chinese Communist Party in the United States today. He is a distinguished senior fellow of the Gatestone Institute and a columnist for Newsweek magazine. He is the author of a number of books, including most recently Plan Red, China's Project to Destroy America. He is a frequent guest on my program, Securing America, and was kind enough to allow me to interview him earlier today and apply part of that program for this purpose of giving some thoughts about, well, who's responsible for what's happening in the Northern Marianas at the moment, and inform our need to hold such people accountable. Let's go to the video of my interview with Gordon G. Chang on Securing America today. This is a welcome that I'm particularly delighted to make to Gordon G. Chang, one of our great resources here at Securing America, with whom we've not spoken in altogether too long. We're always delighted to be able to catch up with him. He is a senior fellow at the Gatestone Institute, a columnist for Newsweek. He is also the author, most recently, of Plan Red, China's Project to Destroy America. He is everywhere, fortunately, including on our air, and we are always very, very grateful for his time. Welcome back, Gordon. Good to have you with us, sir.
Well, thank you, Frank.
I wanted to start. We're doing a webinar as we speak this afternoon with our friend Cleo Pascal, who has been warning, as have you, for quite some time now, about the inroads that the Chinese Communist Party is making in the islands of the Western Pacific to essentially restore, I guess one might say, the presence there of a hostile totalitarian power such as we've not faced since we liberated them all in the course of World War II. The concern is that that would be a very bad thing for, obviously, regional interests, but also for our own. And I wonder if you might speak to this issue of the lengths to which the Chinese are going to establish, through various ways and means in various places, a presence that will be hostile to us and to our vital interests.
China wants to control all of the Pacific, and clearly this is part of a long-term plan. They're very good at it. They've been very determined. You know, Frank, I don't look at this as an issue of China. I look at this as an issue of the United States. These islands are, some of them are actually part of the United States. Guam, for instance. Others are commonwealths which are effectively part of the United States, and we've ignored it. So, the Chinese want to control it. They're using corruption. You know, it's basically the Chinese playbook from around the world. But this is an issue of Americans letting them do it. This is our territory. This is our country. So, let's complain about the Chinese, but let's look at ourselves, because we have the ability to stop this. We have the ability to remove the Chinese from these areas. We can enforce our laws. We're not doing any of this. So, shame on us.
Point taken, Gordon. And I guess in terms of how we might displace them, what are you thinking of as the tools available to us for the purpose?
First of all, let's enforce our laws. We know that the Chinese are engaging in all sorts of criminal practices, including buying of officials. And the FBI is not interested at all in this, which is, to me, incomprehensible. Of course, there's all sorts of domestic concerns about the FBI. But we've got a foreign enemy that is assaulting us. So let's stop worrying about Democrats. Let's start worrying about the country that intends to kill Americans and has been killing Americans through fentanyl and COVID and all the rest of it. I have this very little patience for domestic squabbling right now in the face of a foreign enemy. And Frank, this is how we lose our country. We are the strongest country by far, almost every metric. But we can lose our country, and we can lose it very soon because we're not confronting the Chinese enemy. Let me calm down. But in terms of what we do, we enforce our law. We don't allow Chinese tourists into these areas. We don't allow flights from China. And we have all sorts of pressures on those islands for more Chinese tourists. So that's what we do there. We remove their businesses from them, and we start getting ICE. They might worry about some family in Los Angeles that has been there for 3 decades and now is going to deport them. But I think they should be using their resources as the #1 priority to make sure the Chinese networks in these islands are broken up and the Chinese are either imprisoned or expelled. So this is really important. It's a question of priorities. Yes, we should deport every illegal alien, but we need to break up the Chinese networks first, because these networks actually threaten the security of our nation and even maybe its existence.
Warden Cheng, where we go from there is to explore a little bit further the strategic issues that are in play in all of this, with a man who has done an incredibly important service to our country.